Hello, my little rays of sunshine. How are you all doing out there today? I'm Michelle the Introvert, and today you find me out here with my wonderful garden. Now, as you can see, I have netting everywhere, and that's for a reason, and that is we have a lot of neighborhood cats in this area, and I have to put netting up to keep the cats out of my garden, out of the soil. So I have netting set up for that. Plus, we have a lot of deer that come around the properties at night, and I don't want the deer getting into my garden. But there is one special little guy, special little insect that I do want to get into my garden during the day, and that is the magnificent bumblebee. So right now, I have the netting covering the top like a blanket, and I'm just going to very quickly pull that blanket type netting off so that the bumblebees can get in here to my garden. So I'm going to do that really quick right now, my friends. Right now I have a little friend following me around. This is Cappy, and he's been following me around since I came outside. Oh, and there's a bumblebee in there. I'm going to take the netting off so he can make his way in and out of the garden. I don't want him to panic. Just taking this off here. I've got clothespins rigged up for the time being. I don't want that bumblebee to panic. Here we go. Here we go, little guy. Can you hear him? He's down under there, under the big leaves there. Okay, I'm just going to quickly take these off. Okay, here you go, sweetie. You can come out this way. There's all the netting that I put over the top of the garden at night. And during the day I take it off so that the bumblebees can have access to the garden. And there's my garden. It's doing really well. I'm actually quite surprised how well it's doing. And the bumblebee has made it out safely, of course. But at least he knows the garden is here. So that's a good thing. He can go tell all of his bumblebee friends. There's Cappy again, and I have a bowl of water out for him and for other cats if they want to drink during the summer. I put clean water in that bowl every day. But he's my little friend, Cappy is. Whenever I come out to do some work or just to relax, he comes out too. I picked up some bamboo poles. I usually forget the word bamboo. I picked up some bamboo poles from the Dollarama, and these are them here. And I have about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 bamboo poles around the garden, and I actually went to pick up some more for the garden, but they sold out. So for the time being, I'm using those poles there where the clothesline is hooked up. I'm using those as a help for the garden as well as a support. Cappy's back over here where I am. He's been wanting a little bit of attention. Cute little guy. But he's good company, I will say that. That's the shovel that I used. I needed that shovel to put these bamboo poles into the ground. I had to dig holes fairly deep just to get them into the ground. And yesterday I got them all set up, all the bamboo poles that are around the garden. It was a big job. And then I got the netting set up more securely. And it looks a lot tidier too. It acts like a fence. Since I put the poles up yesterday, and it took me quite a while, I will say, I had to do it in a hurry. because I didn't want the cats to get in there. So I had to put that fencing up very quickly. So I didn't really have a chance to do stitching here. So today my job, I have special twist ties for the garden that I picked up from Dollarama. I'm going to just stitch that a bit so that these open spaces get closed a little bit better. And I'm going to do that today around the whole perimeter of the garden. And once that is done, I'm going to be doing some work inside the garden itself. So I'm actually really looking forward to that part. There goes Cappy, going for a little walk around the neighborhood. He lives right in that house there. So he's a good neighbor. This here doorway, and that's what I've made it out to be, this is chicken wire, and I actually bought that from Dollarama too. It was for a very decent price. Dollarama, I will admit, has really helped me with this garden this summer. The prices are very good. So I rigged up this fence, or this gate here. I have it hooked up here, and in just a minute I'll show you how that works. Right now I think I'm just gonna hop to it and do some stitching around the perimeter of the garden, just so that way no cats can kind of wriggle their way in there. They're pretty smart, the cats around here. So I'm gonna get that done right now, and then we can talk a little bit more. And there's Josh up in the window. Hi, Josh. Good to see you, Josh. There's Cappy again, and here he comes. And that little cat over there, that's Maggie. Oh, and here she comes too. Hi, Maggie. She's a sweet little girl cat. Hi, Maggie. Hi there. So you can see we have a lot of company when we do outdoor chores. And Joshua is actually here with me, helping me out with the garden. I'm almost done stitching the sides together. You can see I did these here, right here, stitching all the seams a bit, just keeping them as closed as possible. And I have been anchoring the nets down with those. Joshua has been assisting. Those keep the netting anchored to the ground so the cats can't get in underneath that. It makes it more secure. I still have to do stitching here. That's actually the next thing on my list. And I'm almost done actually. I did the other side, but it's this side here that I'm finishing up with. So I'm almost done this part anyway, so that's good. Yes, I'm really looking forward to doing the work inside of this garden. But I just wanted to get the outside, the perimeter done first, and then the fun job begins. I'm looking forward to working inside the garden. Just working with the totes and stuff and showing you what I have in there. Somebody's having a little bit of a break. And here's our lunch. We've got our salmon sandwiches in this nice Tupperware container. Of course, Tupperware. And my bottle of water and Joshua's bottle of water is right there. Lunch break is done, so let's go inside the garden and I'll show you around. I have the gate open, as you can see from my chicken wire gate. I have that all rigged up. So that opens right up into the garden, just like this. A nice opening, nice wide opening. So let's see, should I take you this way or that way first? Well, we can do this side first, I guess. Okay, this here and this fishing tote, these are the lettuces that Stacy gave to me for Mother's Day. and we've made quite a few salads with them already. So they're growing quite well. Over here I have spinach, and I'm gonna have to pick some more of that to make salads with. And this is my romaine lettuce here. It's growing quite well. And these here, this is my asparagus growing. So those are doing good too. And these are my wonderful tomatoes. Now I just picked up some pruning shears, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of pruning. But these are all of my wonderful tomato plants, and they're growing extremely well. Extremely well. And for any of you who watched my video on my easy to grow Dollarama kits, the tomato plant that I started growing back in March, this is it. This is my Dollarama easy to grow tomato plant, and it's growing beautifully. Now as you can see, I've got to do some work. There's some leaves there. I'm gonna do some work on that today, get that taken care of, and get a little bit of pruning done. So I'm really happy with how the tomato plants are doing. They're doing much better than I ever expected. But I still have a little bit of work, but that's okay. I'll get that done. I'll get the pruning all taken care of. These here are the scarlet runner beans that my dad gave me, and they have really taken off. They're doing extremely well. Extremely well. And I've had to put them with this trestle here, or trellis, sorry, to help support because they like to climb. I might have to secure it just a little bit better, but I'll get her done, that's for sure. But they're doing quite well, as you see. And when I did my easy to grow kits from Dollarama, these here are the strawberries I planted. They are very slow growing. It's the first time I've grown strawberries, and one thing I've learned is that strawberry plants grow very slowly. You can still see the little paper there for my easy to grow kit. Yes, those are the strawberry plants that I started growing back in March. That's them right there. These plants here, these are green beans, and they seem to be taking over a little bit. And these are yellow beans here. They're doing really well. My carrots are here in this fishing tote. Those are my beets, and I love beets. I'm probably gonna make some beet pickles and eat the beet greens too. I love that. Here's some dill. The dill is growing quite well, and I'm going to be making some dill pickles here soon when this is all ready to roll, and when the cucumbers are ready to roll. In this corner here, it's like a science experiment. I have my potatoes growing, and I must say I'm really surprised that my potatoes are growing. This one was like a science experiment. I didn't know what was going to happen, but they seem to be doing okay so far. In this fishing tote over here, my friends James and Kathy gave me some plants, and I put a couple of the cucumber plants down in here. You can see them here, the cucumber plants. Yes, they're doing quite well. And these here, this massive leaf here, this is a pumpkin plant right there. So that is doing really well, I can happily say. In this tote here, I have some cucumbers, and this here plant on this side. Oh, look at this. My first cucumber. Look at that. Well, what do you know? This plant here, this is my easy to grow cucumber plant that I started back in March, and you can see it's doing really well. Just taking a peek here to see if there's any more cucumbers in there. I don't see any more. But I'm glad this one did okay. For a while it had me worried. I was concerned. Just looking. Oh, look at this! Look at. Oh my! There's another one. It's quite small, but that's okay. I might take that off. Well, what do you know? I have two cucumbers from my easy to grow kit. Awesome! In this tote here, I have more cucumber plants, and they're doing good. In this fishing tote here, I have some squash, and it's growing very well. You can see the vines down there. Yes, I love squash, so I'm glad that those are doing well. In this tote here, more pumpkins. And over here, which is quite a surprise for me, another science experiment. I can't believe how my corn is growing so well. I really wasn't sure if it would grow or if it would survive or how it was going to do, but it's doing just fine. Looks pretty healthy. In this tote here, I have some pepper plants, and I have a lone pea plant here. Oh, I guess I can probably pick some of those, eh? Well, that's great. They're starting to produce things. Excellent, excellent. Happy day. And down here beside the rest of the totes, I have some red onions coming up there. When I was at Superstore, I discovered some boxes, but I just picked one, of red onions for 50% off. So guess what? I decided to plant them. Of course. Here I have a variety of lettuce coming up. And in these here, I don't have anything in there quite yet. But in the next couple of days, I'm going to put some things in there and have them growing. And I will show those to you another day when they all start coming up. Well, my friends, I want to thank you for joining me today. It was so much fun showing you how my garden is progressing. It's been the first year that I've had a garden since I've been living here, a little bit over 2 years. But it's been such a joy having this garden, and I want to thank you so much for just keeping me company today. It's been really, really nice having you around. If you like this vlog, please give me the YouTube thumbs up or press that subscribe button. That would be great. And I have more vlogs coming up, so stay tuned, and I'll talk to you all soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.